Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by
True Digital Media Consulting. You're online right now and so are your customers, but marketing has to be a consistent journey. True Digital Media Consulting can help with your online ads, organic growth, and so much more. Contact us today at 832-934-4436 or visit our website at truedigitalmediaconsulting.com.
Smile Design Studios. Smile Design Studios, family and cosmetic dentistry, offers numerous treatments meant to maintain, heal, and customize your smile. Call us today at 281-969-7388 or visit our website at www.sdshouston.com.
Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789.
What's up, my peeps, and welcome to Startup Masters. That's right, the podcast that's dropping you the dopest content, the riveting guests that are going to give you every single bit of knowledge that they have come about as they journey through entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Kalia Guillory, also known as KG. If you are looking for me on any social media platform, the easiest way to find me is on my website at kogpassion.com. Boy, am I happy you decided to come and hang out with us, because I guarantee you will want to get your pen, your pad, so that you can grab notes, because we're going to drop gem after gem after gem. So if you are considering starting a business, or you have a business and perhaps your business plan could be pulled off the shelf and dust off the dust, so that you can fine-tune, refine your differentiators, so that you can make sure that you're not necessarily going to where your customers are, but you're attracting the type of customer that you want in your segments. What's going on, G?
You got it. Look at that intro. That sounded so, I mean, it was just spot on. I just want to sit back and listen to that.
Come on, G.
I hope those that are tuned in right now feel that same way. What's up? My name's Gary Lee, also known as G Hawkins. Of course, you can find me anywhere online: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. And welcome back to Startup Masters. Like KG said, we're here to ensure that your business has great growth and you learn from the mistakes that have been made right here at this table. We're talking about all the ins and outs of entrepreneurship. We're giving you the back end gems so that that can help crystallize your business and take it to the next level. And I'm excited simply because we like to give you a full variety of entrepreneurs from all walks of life in all business avenues. So you may be surrounded by people in a particular lane, but we're going to give you somebody different that's going to sew back in your business in a different way. And that's what entrepreneurship is about. And that's the sole purpose of paying it forward, so that you can learn from those, so that we can all benefit and all boats rise. I think our homeboy Tristan says that quite often, about all the boats rise, and that is important. And that's what we're talking about here at Startup Masters. So without further ado, we're going to shift gears and have a conversation on the financial side of things. A lot of times we're asking questions about entrepreneurs, about their business and their finances, and what was that walk like. But we don't always have someone that lives in the financial realm that has built a beautiful and prospering business that they can have a conversation about with you all. So guess what? Those that are at home right now, you're watching this on your Apple TV, or you're in your car, you're listening to this on Spotify, we've got none other than Christian Financial himself, Mr. Angelo Christian in the building. Angelo, what's up, man?
Good. How are you doing? Thank you so much for guys having
Thanks
me.
for coming.
Very grateful for you guys letting me come on the show. I'm doing awesome. I feel great.
Good deal.
Still running and gunning. Got another 7-8 hours to work that I got to do tonight. So
we know how it is.
after the show. So, but no, I'm very happy to be here, and I think that helping anyone aspiring entrepreneur or a seasoned entrepreneur, any way that I can help add value or even learn from you guys. yeah, where would you like to start or begin? I mean,
Well, I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
So we're about to take this journey, and for those that are tuned in right now, Facebook Livers, or those who are watching Facebook Live after this, remember, we're only on for the first 15 minutes, so make sure you go subscribe to get the episode in its entirety. But we like to take this entrepreneurial journey from the past, present, and future. We like to basically hop in the DeLorean, hit 88 miles an hour. We're going back in the time.
Yeah.
And Angelo, let's
Yeah.
have this conversation. Tell us what was going
For
on
sure.
when you said, I want to build out
Yeah.
Christian Financial. What was it going on
Yeah.
in your life?
Well, yeah, let me just I'll back up a little. I grew up in Houston. My father was in the restaurant business, and I worked for him and had his restaurants. And when I grew up, I was morbidly obese. I weighed 400 pounds.
Worked in a restaurant.
Yeah,
You
worked
was
in a
eating.
restaurant.
You was eating the good food.
Yeah,
Yes.
but that's all life was about. There was no other,
Yeah.
like, no hierarchy, no focus, no no vision. The goal of the day is, what are you going to eat? Not what are you going to go to school for, go to exercise. And so, I really didn't have a future. In fact, when I was 17, I had a heart attack and almost died.
Wow.
I was 400 pounds. I had a 56-inch waist. And my father actually left my mother at that time. I had 4 brothers and sisters, and we got evicted and kicked out of our home, and we were living in the streets. We were living at the hotel, the weekly Hotel 6 on I-10 and Highway 6, and we lived there. And our car got repossessed, and I was working 3 jobs to help to take care of my brothers and my sister. I was working as a line cook at Macaroni Grill, and a butcher at Kroger, and then making sandwiches at Subway, and just trying to make ends meet. I was 400 pounds, and basically, I always had dreams of being wealthy. I looked at the DuPont Register as my favorite book growing up, and always saw all these people that were really wealthy. And my favorite movie when I was a teenager was Rocky. And so that one night when our car got repossessed, I had my Walkman on, and I had to walk 7 miles from work to the hotel. Eye of the Tiger came on. It was about midnight. I just got done, working a shift as a line cook, and something just was hit me like a bolt of lightning, that song. And I could see, Rocky defeating Creed and defying the odds, and I saw in Rocky a basically that was my catalyst, my driver to influence me, and it was a reference to show proof positive that if this man could become the champ of the world and defy the odds, that I could change my life.
Sure.
And
what age were you at
I
during this
was
time?
I was 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
a year after you had just had
yeah,
your heart attack.
Yeah.
And so now keep in mind I'm 400 pounds. I start running to this music, and I run all the way to the hotel. It's about 7 miles, and I was out of breath, and I thought I was going to die, and because it's very hard to run when you're that big.
Yeah.
And so anyway, from that night onward, I started exercising every single night after I got home from work. I lost the weight. I lost 200 pounds in about a year. And then at this time I had dropped out of school. I dropped out of school in the 6th grade because I was being made fun of. I was beaten up by kids because of my weight. And so I had no education. So I went back, got my GED, and enrolled into HCC, got my basics, lost the weight, and then went to U of H and got my degree in finance and economics, and then got deep into bodybuilding and started to bodybuild. And my heroes at that time, I was looking for people to look up to, were people like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, Sylvester Stallone, people that really huge icons that that really did great things with their life, that defied the odds. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, really amazing guy. If I could unzip anyone, I'd want to be him. With a Jeff Bezos mindset. So, so basically, I got my education in finance, and I started working at a bank called AmeriQuest Mortgage. It was a multi-billionaire, Roland Arnold, that owned the company, and I was fascinated by the business model. People would come in, apply for a mortgage. It was all done online. It wasn't like a traditional bank, and he was making hundreds of millions of dollars as a billionaire, and he specialized in fair credit lending. Okay, a market that the banks don't really want to lend, like a traditional bank doesn't really want to lend in. And I really loved the model. And I, at that time, I was a limo driver. I just got out of school. I was making $1,500 a month, and I went to go work at the bank, and I was learning the business, and I started making, monster income, and I was blown away because everyone in my family was poor. So my income skyrocketed, and so I said, man, I learned the model, and so I basically. From learning their model, I said I want to start my own mortgage bank.
Let me pause you right there because I want to make sure those that are at home right now, those that are listening to this on SoundCloud, y'all are tuned in and y'all understand this progression.
Right.
First and foremost, this young man was tied to an entrepreneur mindset at a very young age, which often seeps into your psychological, the subconscious area that you aren't even aware of. And you've seen this transition of, I'm tired of being bullied. I'm tired of being beat on. I'm tired of having to go through the trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
I need to do something for self. And that climb, the tenacity to come out of the hole, the tenacity to move forward, the dexterity that it takes. You don't see that often, but when you do, you know greatness is coming.
But did you also catch the fact that he was raised by an entrepreneur?
That's what I'm saying.
But that particular entrepreneur didn't have any vision.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
And the moment he got connected with the billionaire from the mortgage bank who had a business model, who is out here doing it,
I can do this too.
I can do this too.
Right.
Like that, for me, that was the biggest piece of that is.
Right.
Woo.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like you have to, I think people, and what you were mentioning in the beginning is have a mentor, have a you have to have a point of reference. And if you have that, that will, basically make you a straight line path to where that person wants to go. Like your followers, if they see successful entrepreneurs say, well, don't do this instead, and you can shave 3 years off the learning curve, right? And so that's a very important thing, is to have a mentor, somebody in your life that can show you the way. But basically that was the onset of building the company.
Sure.
And this was in 2005. That we started the business, and so it was right before the subprime meltdown, and the market was still very hot, and we grew the company, very fast, and at this time we were just doing residential mortgage lending, and so we did through the subprime crash, we did experience some setbacks. We basically pivoted to a different model, doing government lending. At that time we were doing more subprime, and we pivoted to more government lending. And from today, now we're an 8-figure company, but we've also now gotten into, commercial lending, and we do commercial international. Like we even do it in the Caribbean, the Bahamas, Jamaica. We do a lot of lending over there. And then we also have a real estate university where we teach students how to become a top producer with real estate. So not only do we have the bank, we also have our online real estate university where we take people that are entry level. Just to give an example, we've trained almost 200 students that come from different industries. One right now is a classic example. He was a Cintas truck driver, making $30,000 a year, living with his parents, and married with 3 kids. And now he's making $150,000 a year. Just bought a brand new home for his wife and his children, just by learning our system. On how to become a top producer.
You got to learn it.
So we give it back too from the student curriculum and teaching them. So not only are we lending to people to give them credit where they're basically being denied from their bank, we're also helping people become students so they can also learn the model too. And this is on a cloud-based platform, so they could do this from their phone, their tablet, all over the country, log in and learn how to become a top producer.
So you've done a couple of different things.
Right.
You've not only, and I want to roll back because I want to make sure that people don't miss this. Opening in 2005, right before the crash, and what you did that was significant in your company is you
starts with a P.
Come on, you positioned yourself well with a great pivot that then allowed you to market to a new customer.
Right.
Speaking of marketing, this particular portion of the show is sponsored by You like that? True Digital. So you're online right now, and so are your customers. The question is, Angelo, how do you actively reach them? Marketing has to be a consistent journey, and we're here to help walk with you every step of the way. True Digital Media Consulting can help with your website development, online ads, your business representation, and organic growth through their very fabulous search engines. Give them a call today to discuss a customized strategy for your business at area code 832-934-4436 or send an email over to info@truedigitalmediaconsulting.com. Mention a Sphere to receive a free 30-minute strategy consultation. Yes, indeed. So have that conversation with True Digital. Make sure that you let them know you heard about them here at the Sphere. But I wanna go back to that, the pivot. Talk about how important it is as an entrepreneur to know when to pivot in and out of situations.
Yeah, that's well, I mean, I think that you have to look and see. You have to be, one of the things you brought up in the beginning is awareness, and you have to be really aware of the market awareness about what's going on at that time. The credit had dried up for subprime loans, and basically no one was buying them, and you're seeing that at that same time that there's a huge demand for government mortgages, which is like FHA. I'm sure you've heard of FHA loans, which is a government-backed mortgage with lenient credit requirements. So you're looking to where you can place your clientele, and so you're always trying to find opportunities or outlets, and so you have to be in search for opportunity, and that's what you're seeing a lot right now with a lot of this deregulation, with the latest administration. Is a lot of opportunity in the retail or residential housing with more lenient requirements for people to get funding. Basically, the self-employed people, they can't document their income. You're seeing a lot of rollback of this Dodd-Frank regulation where, okay, you can't show me the tax returns. Let me just look at your bank account. Let me see how much money you got in there. I'm going to get you a mortgage. And it makes sense for some people, not everybody, not a guy working at Walmart that's stocking groceries, but a guy that owns a business like me or you that writes off everything. They can still buy a house. Why can't they get a house? They should be able to get a house if they can put the money down.
Sure.
So you have to be looking for those type of opportunities. For example, on commercial loans, we could do commercial loans with basically zero down. Let's say that you want to buy a 30-unit apartment complex that's cash flowing $10,000 a month, and it's worth $5 million, and he wants $4 million. I can roll the down payment into the loan, so that way you can buy that apartment complex for zero down, because it makes sense because you have the equity. So you have to look and see what the opportunity is, and then try to maximize that, and then market it. So first you have to find the opportunity, and then you have to get the attention. Use social media. We're very big on social media with our marketing. Because it's free, right? I mean, we get thousands of customers off of our social media. We'll do a podcast on apartment complex lending, and then thousands of people will come in and apply for that. And it's free. We don't have to pay anything for that. We just do a show, and we educate people on, hey, did you know that you can buy an apartment complex with zero down? We're doing a deal right now for somebody that's doing that exact same thing.
And rolling in the
down payment. Yeah.
But you guys need to also be aware that takes A1 credit.
No, it doesn't.
No?
No, that's the whole thing.
A5?
It doesn't. No, you could do it with poor credit.
Really?
Yeah. Because if the deal has the equity, then what does it matter about the credit of the borrower? The bank is looking, underwriter is looking at the cash flow of the apartment complex. They don't care about you. Is that thing going to cash flow? They want to see the rent roll.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
totally.
if that thing is throwing off $10,000 a month in free cash flow, what does it matter what your credit score is? If you default, I'm just going to take the property. I don't care about you.
It's a win-win.
Yeah. So if you're self-employed and you're putting 30% down, they want you to default because then they're going to take the property.
Yeah.
So, but when you're doing zero down, that's where it's risky. And so, but the point is, like you were saying, as far as pivoting, I think is you have to have awesome products, and you have to create an irresistible offer with your marketing. I'm real big about creating an irresistible offer, and then getting the attention.
I
Well,
like
you
the way
just-
he
Yeah.
coined that.
He just irresistible because he just got me interested.
Yeah.
irresistible offer.
Right.
Irresistible.
Yeah.
And speaking of something else that is
Oh, he was
irresistible,
about to do it to y'all.
it's the show,
Facebook.
folks. It's the show.
No.
It's quite irresistible. Guess what, Facebook Livers? We got to cut it short here. You've got to go subscribe. So head over to sphere.tv/Startup Masters. We've got a couple of options for you. You can find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play Music, Stitcher, Spreaker, iHeart. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us in your kitchen on your Amazon Alexa. Anywhere podcasts are found, you can find this show. And of course, share it out with your family, your friends, your colleagues, your loved ones. Share it out with your haters. Share it out with anyone you know that wants entrepreneurial advice from some of the biggest people right here at this table. And at the same time, make sure you review our show. Give us that constructive criticism so we know how to continue to build a better brand for you all so that we can sow back into you. And last but not least, if you truly love what we're doing here, sow a seed. Go over to sphere.tv/donate. We've got a couple of options. You can donate one time right on the website, or if you're really about this entrepreneurial life, you can become a Patreon-based donator, and we're going to get you exclusive content that's just for you. So, Facebook Livers, we're not cutting the show here, but you've got to go subscribe right here at the Sphere. So let's keep this party rolling.
Let's keep it rolling.
You didn't brought us into where you're at today, but I want to dive a little bit deeper about you, Angelo. Obviously, we talked earlier off camera about the stress. And obviously, you've got all these deals, some risky, some that are not. You're crafting and creating opportunities for people that may not be aware of the financial situations or golden eggs that could be before them. But that, once again, comes with the burden, the responsibility. What are you doing for self outside of the financial industry? What are you doing to sow back into self so that your cup stays full?
Yeah, that's I can't tell you how important that is. If you're asking about my daily rituals or my habits, is that what you're?
Yeah, but more so behind the scenes stuff you're doing that keeps you charged or recharges your battery after a stressful day.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's probably the biggest thing. Like I was saying earlier, state management. And there are certain rituals. I'm very big about a morning routine.
Talk about it.
Yeah, so basically, I'm very disciplined with my schedule. So right when I wake up, I quickly I do this immersion in ice cold water, basically to reduce the inflammation in my body. Kind of like what Tony Robbins does with a cold plunge. I have something similar like that in my house, where I jump into a freezing cold shower. And it just really helps to wake me up. And then from there, I'll drink Scottie Pippen and his wife. They're really big into apple cider vinegar, drinking that. So I'll take like a quarter cup of that. I'll drink that. And then I make this power drink, and you guys have had the Bang, it's the energy drink they have at HEB. So I mix that with like B12 and Emergency, and I'm on the ketogenic diet. So I take there's something by Prove It that I mix with the drink. It helps you to get into ketosis so you can burn fat. So I make this ice cold smoothie. And there's no sugar because I'm really against sugar. So I drink this right in the morning. And then I'm real big about, I'm sure you guys know what incantations are or self-talk. And I basically do that at the top of my lungs, just very strong, powerful incantations that help get me into the state. Just chanting that, I'm going to be the best, I'm going to be successful, I'm the most powerful, I have a limited power, I have a limited wealth, thank you, God, for this day, I'm grateful, I'm alive, I love my kids. I'll just do that at the top of my lungs.
That's dope.
Yeah. Then I go straight to the gym and I lift heavy weight for about an hour because I think that you have to get ready for the day. And if you're doing resistance training or some type of exercise right when you wake up, it helps you to deal with the issue. I don't look at my phone, no phone, texting, email, for the first hour when I wake up because I think it'll get you into the wrong state.
Totally.
So I refuse to look at my phone because if I do, it's 200 emails of BS and a bunch of text messages with crap. And if that will trip my state into the wrong mind, and I can't handle the day. So, like Les Brown talks about, the first few minutes right when you wake up, the stuff that you're putting into your brain is going to basically affect the whole day. Totally. So while I'm doing this whole thing, while I'm getting ready, I'm listening to like Les Brown, Tony Robbins, put my headset on, David Goggins. I don't know if you know who he is, the military guy, who's just, he's unbelievable. If you guys haven't checked him out, he's incredible. But anyway, I'm doing that, and then I go to the gym, lift the weights. Then I come to work, and I work on a treadmill desk. So I'm doing on the treadmill.
I've seen those.
Yeah, I'm on the treadmill for 3 hours while I'm working, and I sit in the center. I have all my employees. I have 25 employees that sit around me, and I have my treadmill desk right here, and I have my screens up there, and I'm working, and basically running the military, the fort, and calling things out to all my team while I'm working on my treadmill. And I do that. I burn about 1,000 calories on the treadmill. And I work there I usually work about 16 hours a day, and then I will sometimes I'll break in the middle, sometimes go home and have dinner with my family. I have 3 kids, but during the day I'm very big about I don't eat any carbs, I don't eat any sugar, because I really believe that it affects not only your physique but also your state. I don't want to have anything really affect my insulin levels, because I noticed that's how you can get fog head, and it could affect your decision making if you eat high fatty, high sugar, high carbohydrate type meals. And so, and that's the things that help me to stay in routine, so I can be the most effective with my decision making.
How do you do that on keto?
Huh?
How do you avoid the carbs on keto?
Because
What's your secret?
keto is high fat, high protein.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're not eating any carbs or sugar. So I'll do it once a week. I'll have a cheat meal. I grew up as a chef in the restaurant, but I love food. I know how to make all the stuff. So I love eating all those things. Oh yeah. Well, I do. I actually, on my podcast, I have a whole cooking healthy with Angelo, and I'll show people how to cook healthy. But
Nice.
I'm saying I love to eat all those things, like the jambalaya, the gumbo. I can eat all those things, but the way it affects you, there was a one of my mentors that I look up to, he was talking about one day, there was a billboard from Walmart. It was said, buy a pizza and a Coke for $5.99. And he said, because you see that on that billboard, you see buy the pizza and the Coke, the people that actually subscribe to that and buy that, that's why they have the issues that they have with their life. I'm a firm believer that if you're buying into those things and eating those foods on an ongoing basis, you probably have issues or challenges in your life, because that food is affecting your decision making. It's comfort food. So it's affecting your level of execution. And you might not be able to see it on a surface level, but on a deep subliminal level, it does affect our decision making. I'm not saying I love to eat those things, but there has to be a time and place for it.
Yeah. Everything in moderation.
Yeah.
Everything in moderation. And speaking of moderation, our smiles shouldn't be in moderation.
Yeah.
We should be letting them things fly like you just did there.
Yeah.
It just so happens that this portion of the show is sponsored by our good friends over at Smile Design Studios. Smile Design Studios, family and cosmetic dentistry, offers numerous treatments meant to maintain, heal, and customize your smile. If you're not sure what you need, don't worry. Dr. Ellis and her team are happy to meet with you to go over your patient history and goals and offer your professional recommendations. Let Smile Design Studios make you smile. Call us today at 281-969-7388 or check out our website at www.sdshouston.com to schedule your appointment today. Like right now. All new patients receive a free gift and, wait for it, $50 off your first dental treatment. Smile Design Studios looks forward to providing excellent care for you and your family.
There it is.
Now, I got to go back to something you said earlier, if I could peel the onion back on it a little bit more.
Sure.
You mentioned that you're working on average, is it 16-hour days?
Yep.
So how do you, what's the vision for that? Do you anticipate you working 16-hour days for the next couple of months or the next year? Or and what does the idea of success look like for you?
Yeah. No, well, I think that, the vision, the long-term vision is to scale and grow the company into a multi-billion-dollar business. I mean, right now with all the revenue centers that we have, we are, doing 8 figures right now. And the idea is that to keep scaling at a stair-step progression not an elevator, because I think that if you go too fast, you're not going to be able to handle it.
Very true.
But then, what ideally in my ideal state, the way that I am, I'm more of how I see myself as the general that's overall overseeing the development of the business, the visionary, and making sure that the management is executing. Right now, when you're a smaller company, you have to be battling and building at the same time. Because we don't have $1 billion that I'm sitting on, where I can just go hire 100 managers and just go watch everything like Warren Buffett. He could do that because he has several $100 billion. He can sit back and analyze and view things. Ideally, as we continue to grow and revenues grow, we can bring in more management to fill those positions. Because I don't necessarily think it's healthy that that someone works 16, 17 hours every single day for the rest of their life. There's other parts of life that are very important, and that's family, and also enjoying life.
Yeah.
Seeing life and doing things. Like I just got back from Hawaii, and it was great. I got to spend time with my family, and you have to do that too.
Yeah, you have to unplug, and it's so
you
necessary.
you have to do that. And so the long term is to scale the business. Bring in the right people. That's the whole thing, is the quality people, like you had mentioned in the beginning, getting the right people around you, which is a very challenging thing to do, but necessary. But I have to do those. If you guys know run the business, sometimes you have to clean the fridge. Sometimes you have to answer the phone.
Listen, you have to be the subject matter expert before you can hire the subject matter expert.
Talk about it.
Yeah. So that's the deal. I mean, but once revenues grow and we can keep scaling, then I'll pull back, and ideally it'd be to make it into a multi-billion-dollar company, and help serve tens of thousands of people all over the country. Like right now, we help about 1,000 families every single year with funding, with commercial and residential, and the goal is to help 100,000 families.
Now, to get to that, though, there always has to be something about you and your business that stands out amongst the competition.
That's right.
Talk to us a little bit about that X factor over at Christian Financial.
Yeah. So we have our mortgage company. That's American Financial Mortgage. And I'm the manager there. And American Financial is a great company. It's a family-owned business out of California. Great people. And they really do a very good job. How you're right, exactly. You have to change the status quo. You have to be different. We talked about in the beginning. You have to have excellent products. So with us, it's service. We're 24/7 service. You can call us anytime, any day of the week. We answer the phone.
Nice.
Okay, that's a huge thing. But with the products, it's about having a great package or a great product to offer to the customer, and then be able to bundle it. So not only are we doing the residential mortgage or the commercial mortgage, we also do the insurance on the deal. So then you need insurance, right?
Talking turnkey.
Right.
Turnkey solutions.
You need turnkey.
You hear it?
Yeah.
You hear it?
Yeah.
I hear it.
And then you need a realtor.
Yeah.
So we also have the realty service with our realtor partners, right? If you need help with credit repair. We don't do credit repair. We have companies that offer that to help people to boost up their credit. These programs where you can get grants, down payment assistance through the government to help for covering your down payment. Did you know that there's down payment assistance in Texas that will help a home buyer to get $15,000 of assistance to be able to buy a home?
How about that?
No idea.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. If you're spending $2,000 a month on a little 2-bedroom apartment here, did you know I can get you into a house with zero down for $1,700 a month?
Come on.
I could believe that.
Come on. Property insurance, taxes, and PITI.
Yeah.
Come on, we know what it is, and that's so important. It's the knowledge.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's who you're connected to and the amount of knowledge you have or don't have can make that decision that you need to make worthwhile. And you want to make sure y'all are aware of that. For those that are tuned in right now, you're listening to this on Spotify, you've got to have the right people around you. You've got to have that right team around you to ensure that you're putting the best foot forward every time. Am I right, Angelo?
No, I agree. I agree. Like I said, so I think having great products like that make it essentially irresistible. Because who's gonna argue? Because this is what we get. This is the call we get. Hey, I have fair credit or decent credit. I'm renting. I'm spending $1,800 a month, but I don't know what to do. I don't have $50,000 down to buy a house. Can you help me? I'm like, yes, we can help you get into a house. Let me show you the way. So American Financial is very good with having great programs, great service, and I'm happy to be with the management team to be able to deliver that. Nice. And then I think that having the other part of that is not only having the great product, but then being able to execute. You have to be able to have the infrastructure built out to get that supply chain, through the process, right?
Let's talk more about infrastructure
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
importance of that, because I think
Yeah.
that's a critical component.
It is very important.
If not, it's the foundation
Yeah.
for everything that we do, right? So let's
Mhm.
talk. If you
Yeah.
could share with
Yeah.
us and our viewers, like
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
how behind it.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's a huge topic because I'm going to tell you, like, my strength is not in the infrastructure. Like I have management, ops management, because I don't like to be into all that stuff. So I'm more focused on the branding, the marketing, the top line. But you cannot have a successful business. I don't care whether it's this show right here. Somebody is responsible for making sure that camera's working. Yeah. Somebody's responsible to make sure that I got here at the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not just about looking pretty on the camera.
Exactly.
So the thing is that you have to make sure that, okay, I'm offering these products to people, but can you close the loan?
Come on.
You see, that's what really matters. Can you close? See, you can go out there and speak all you want, but you have to be able to get the deal through.
Right.
And so you have to have the systems, the technology, the people in place to make sure that whatever your product or service that you can actually deliver. If you say you can close in 21 days, you better make sure, like Mattress Mac, I'm going to get that stuff to you tonight.
Come on.
So,
Right.
because if you don't, then that's your name on the line.
Very true.
That's
You
it.
know, and if you've ever bought anything from Gallery Furniture, I've gotten stuff delivered to me at midnight from him. And that's how he built his business, is that I'm going to get you same day delivery. So I think that you definitely need to make sure that you got drivers that can deliver the furniture. You have, people that can underwrite those loans. You have an appraiser that can appraise the property. So you have to really, break down your business, every little piece, to make sure that you have the proper people in each department. And then the other thing is that was another weakness of mine in running a business, is making sure you're taking care of those people. Okay, because you can't treat people like it's the military, and that's one of my weaknesses. I'm very militant and very disciplined, and because it's my business. But when you're dealing with people, they're not going to take it like that. They don't take ownership in the business like that, and you have to really treat people not as a number, but as the value that, bring out the value in them and really care for them. That's a huge part of it, because then they're going to shine.
Absolutely.
So
we refer to that as relationship currency.
Yeah,
Because it's the hashtag of them all,
it's
right?
true. It's very true.
And then I think also what you're getting at, Angelo, and for you guys out there, I'll just kind of break it down for you a little further. Is SWOT. Is what are your strengths of your business? What are your weaknesses of the business? What are your opportunities and what are your threats? Just on the
SWOT.
You saw that SWOT. I mean, we
I
talk about
got that.
military.
Okay.
I mean, why not?
You.
Yeah. But if we just simply put it on a blank sheet of paper and draw a 4-quadrant and put everything I just said and list out what the strength is, what the weakness is, what the threat is, and what the opportunity, you take the strength because that's you. You want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
For all that other stuff, who's going to help you figure that out?
Yeah.
Mentorships.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Mentioned
Yeah.
it earlier.
Yeah, we did.
Now I know as we wrap up, as we get close to the end of this, I want to make sure we have that conversation about that 5-year, 10-year, 20-year plan.
Mm-hmm.
What does Christian Financial look like in the year 2030, year 2040?
Yeah. Well, I think, our vision is to, keep growing our mortgage side with American Financial, because they're a great, company to be with. And then for, keep scaling the business as much as we can. The thing is that I think it's very important that you have a vision about where you're going, but also think that you have to optimize the day, right? Like I don't go to sleep until, Eric Thomas talks about, not going to bed unless you're on empty, and I'm very big about making sure that before I go to lay my head down, that I'm totally on empty, that I've literally left no stone unturned, and my head's banging, and so So I try to optimize the day with the vision and making sure that my actions are in alignment with that vision, right? If this is where I want to be and I want to have a, $10 billion business, I want to be serving, 100,000 customers. Am I doing the things today to get me there? So because, the thing is that from our mortgage side, it's to keep growing and to keep growing our real estate universe. I'd love to have 1 million students on our real estate university platform. It can hold up to 1 million students. So having 1 million students. But again, the whole thing is it all comes back to we have to make sure that we're offering great products and services, which I believe we do. Like, for example, we go down, just to let you know, we go down to a 500 credit score with our loan programs. You try to go get a loan from Wells Fargo or Chase, they're going to kick you out the door.
If they let you in.
Well,
Yeah, they do.
that I know to be true.
And we offer 0 down programs. We're big with the veterans. Military is one of our biggest loan programs to help veterans. Whereas like Chase or Wells Fargo want a 700 credit, we can go down to a 500 credit score with our veteran programs. With commercial, we can do 0 down commercial loans and get your closing costs and down payment included. If you want to, let's say you want to buy.
Put it in the universe, Angelo. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, if you want to,
buy
let's say because I believe in multiple flows of income. You
All
should
right.
not just
So
have
do
one
we.
flow of income. So, let's say you want to buy, in Pasadena or the Heights, a 20-unit high-rise apartment complex, and it has equity in it. You can buy that thing, get your closing costs included. You can even get your down payment included. You have the potential to do 0 down. Let's say you want to buy a restaurant. Let's say you want to open a business. Let's say that you want to buy a public storage that's cash flowing. Right, you have your job here, but wouldn't that be great if you could make an extra $5,000-$10,000 a month off of real estate?
Come on.
Totally.
Real estate's going to be here after you and I are gone.
Yeah, someone's gonna always need
someone's
somewhere
always
to
going to
live.
need somewhere to stay.
Yep.
So, but maybe you thought you didn't qualify because Wells Fargo told you needed 30% down, or you had to have 800 credit score. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what your credit score is. We can get you funded on a commercial deal. I don't care if you're in Houston, you're in Queens, you're in Jamaica, you're in Puerto Rico. We do mortgage on commercial side internationally. So, and there's all different types of loans. You're trying to build a subdivision, you're trying to build development, and there could be someone out there that's listening to this and maybe their bank turned them down. They think they can't get the funding. It's not, there's a lot of, I'm doing a deal right now for somebody. They're buying a $5.5 million apartment complex and they're doing it with 0 down. I'm doing a loan for someone in New Jersey, a church, and they're doing a $6 million church and they're doing it with 0 down. Because they bought it for $4 million, they rolled their down payment and closing costs into the deal.
It doesn't get any better than that.
Come on, why?
You know what else it doesn't get any better?
Talk
of?
about it.
Perhaps you want to advertise right here on the Sphere.
Yeah, bring that up.
This portion of the show is sponsored by us right here at the Sphere. Are you starting your business or looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at the Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at 832-772-7789 or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv.
There it is, folks. There it is. Angelo.
Sure.
Angelo Christian.
Hit them with it, G.
Because of all that you've been through, it makes me wonder. Let's just say we take the platform of this real estate university and delete all the code.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say we take all these different financial institutions that have been built, the loans that have been serviced, the deals that have been made and brokered, and we eradicate it off the ledger. We roll back the plate in time for all 25, 30 employees are back at their dwellings. This desk that you've got that you're burning 1,000 calories at no longer exists. You're all the way back before you even met this young man who inspired you in this financial world. You're back at the restaurant, back 400 pounds, back having to deal with life as it is. But we leave you with two things. We leave you with all the knowledge that you've had along this way, and we slide you some seed money. How would you build this financial empire that you've built today, this time around, knowing what you know and with that seed money?
How much is the seed money?
Let's say $500,000.
$500,000. And I'm back at that age.
Back at that age. Got all the knowledge. What do you do differently?
Yeah. I've never, no one's ever asked me that.
How about that?
Yeah, that's a good
Welcome to
question.
Startup Master.
Yeah, I have to. What would I do differently?
Same knowledge.
Yeah.
Got some dollars behind you.
And would I have to go back and do this same the financial, to finance?
Nope, up to you. You just got the knowledge from what you've been through.
You could create this bad boy however you see fit.
Yeah.
Or not at all.
Or not at all, based on what you know today.
Yeah. Now, would it be in 2018?
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Going back to that time. So
Okay.
we're back in 92?
Yeah. What would I have done differently now, the knowledge I have right now?
Knowledge you got now, and I've slid you some seed money.
Yeah. I mean, what would I have done knowing what I know now about financial markets? And yes, I would have done a lot of things differently. I would have gotten involved with, part of my the company's assets that we manage is trading the markets. So I would have gotten involved in trading the markets back in the 90s. And gotten part of the .com the crash, obviously, and shorted the market at that time.
Yeah.
So that's something that I'm a
Short
big
seller's dream.
Yeah. So I would have definitely done that. I would have gotten into e-commerce earlier. I think e-commerce was a huge thing that I missed. You look at Amazon.
Come on.
Getting into that. That's such a huge platform. The other thing I would have done is I would have been a lot more conscientious of the people that I brought into the scene. We talked a lot about early, and I think some of the most intelligent people in the world are extremely aware of what's going on. They're very conscientious, and I think that, in fact, if you look at like people like Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, they score very high on the level of conscientious on these personality tests, and meaning that they're extremely aware about what's going on. And so I would have hired very bright management counsel to help me to build a business, because what I did and where I really failed, I think, is I kept, and you hear this all the time, there's the school of you fail your way to success. That's okay, but it's going to take a lot more time. It's going to be a lot more painful.
Yeah.
If I could just go hire a counsel or an expert to help me, and if I had $500,000 at that time, I could have hired him to help me to do this and avoid a lot of pitfalls. I didn't do that in the beginning. I did it all on my own, and I kept taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back, because I kept failing my way to success, and I was only growing marginally. And I think that a lot of people, what they do if they have seed money, like what Facebook had, then you can bring in the right people, the right engineers or whatever, the right legal people to help you to build it properly, so you avoid legal issues, you avoid HR problems. And I didn't do that, and that was a big mistake. And if you're out there trying to build a business, if you guys are listening to this and you have investors that are going to back you, which we have that now, but it's 15 years later. So, but it's bringing in the right people, the right management team that says, hey, man, you need to do this. You need to stay away from that. And I didn't really have that. I kept bumping into the wrong things. And so because of that, I think I probably lost about 7 years. As what I've calculated. That this could have been a $100 million business where I'm sitting with you today, and it's just a $10 million business because I didn't do that. And so, and that's something I think about a lot. And so if you're out there, That's probably the biggest. I mean, short of the market, yeah, anyone can say that, but
Sure.
but the management thing and hiring the right people to put the right people around you,
That
your
team.
board,
That's it. Your advisory board.
is extremely crucial. It's worth it. It's worth
Come on,
it.
talk about it.
It's a really
So-
good answer.
Yes, indeed. It's those opportunities, those life lessons that we learn, folks. And because of the lessons you've learned, Angelo, because of the toils, the tribulations, because of the directions that you chose and the journey you've been on, we would like to officially coin you a startup master.
Oh, thank you.
Please.
Thank you.
Let
Awesome.
anyone and everyone who's tuned in right now, let them know where they can find you, your
Absolutely.
website, and get in contact with you.
Yeah, so you guys can check me out. So like I said, I'm the branch manager with American Financial. It's a great company. You can check me out on Facebook. It's Angelo Christian Loan Officer. And Instagram is Angelo Christian Loan Officer. And then YouTube, we have a big, huge YouTube following. We do 3 podcasts there, Real Estate Insider, Influencers, and Learning Hub. And just check out Angelo Christian on my YouTube channel. We have a very strong following there, and we produce great content to educate people on commercial, residential, investments, and finance. And that's where you guys can check us out at. So
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Good to know. Angelo Christian.
Yep.
Christian Financial. KG, where can the good people reach you at, my dear?
Good people, you can catch me on my website where you can follow me across all of my social media platforms, LinkedIn, YouTube, as well as Instagram and Facebook. That's at kogpassion.com. What about you, G?
And of course, you can reach me anywhere online, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snappity, chatting at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. If you got any questions about what we do here at the show, make sure you hit us up, Startup Masters at thesphere.tv, or hit us across any social media platform at the Sphere TV. Use our coveted hashtag Startup Masters, and we will surely get back with you. This has been another
one.
enlightening episode. We will see you all next time. Take care, folks.
Peace.